So we're using text to build upon this truth, and we want to be responsible. We don't want to go into speculative theories, and we don't want to go off into off of the path. We want to be responsible and careful students of Bible and of prophecy, line upon line. I think that's something that we're fairly familiar with, and that's actually not the there's more to that, but we'll hang on to that for a second. We'll hold on to that for a second, right? Let's turn to Revelation. Revelation chapter 10. Revelation chapter 10. Revelation chapter 10, verses 1 through 4. If somebody could read that for us. Revelation chapter 10, verses 1 through 4.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head. And his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open. And he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not.
All right. We have, I recognize that we don't have a lot of, we don't have volumes of instruction, and we don't have very many lines to put on these lines as far as what is uttered in these verses. But we want to gather up everything that we can. Okay. I think CW is counsels to writers and editors. Page 41. It says, "Can everybody see this?" Maybe. So we, just as we're bringing this up, actually here it is. Can everybody see this? All right. She says, whatever may be man's intellectual advancement, let him not for a moment think that there is no need of thorough and continuous searching of the Scriptures for greater light. So we are not to lay in a comfortable position, being satisfied with how much light we have. Right? No matter how much light we have in this denomination, we are not to be comfortable in that. She says that there is let him not for a moment think that there is no need of thorough and continuous searching of the Scriptures for greater light. We are called upon to continue to search very thoroughly for greater light. As people, we are called individually to be students of prophecy. Now that's an interesting way of putting that in that sentence. But as a people, corporately and individually, right? Individually, we are called to be students of prophecy. So the sentiment that is going around today, that it is not, we are not called to be that, or it's not an important line of study, or that it can be, less important. I don't really see the Bible and the Spirit of prophecy teaching that. I find that to be a kind of an erroneous teaching. It goes on to say, we must watch with earnestness that we may discern any ray of light which God shall present to us. Right? So every ray of light that God sends, even though it may not be volumes, but it's just a small ray, we are to be watching with earnestness. We are to catch the first gleamings of truth, and through prayerful study, clearer light may be obtained, which can be brought before others. So every ray of light, every gleaming, even the first gleamings of truth, we are thoughtful, careful Bible students are going to be searching for those things, right? And treasuring them, so that our knowledge can be increased. Okay, let's pause on the Revelation chapter 10. We'll come back to that in a moment, right? But does that teaching, is it consistent with what we find in the Bible? Let's turn to Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12, and we'll try to build upon some of these things. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4. Let's start in verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So it's a sign of the times. It's a sign of the time of the end. That knowledge is sealed up until that time of the end. And at the time of the end, whatever time of the end, whatever that time of the end is, in every time of the end, that knowledge will be increased. That many are going to be running to and fro, the wise virgins, right? In Matthew chapter 25. Those wise are going to be running to and fro, and knowledge is to be increased. Right? What is this knowledge? What knowledge is going to be increased? I know in a lot of ways, it's a lot of times it's kind of suggested that it's knowledge of science, right? Of innovative things that that will take place. And I'm not really I don't really have too much to say about that knowledge, but it may apply to that in a certain sense. But more specifically, a revelation of Jesus Christ. Right? A prophetic knowledge is going to be increased. The very first verse of Revelation begins, right? It says, let's go to Revelation chapter 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1, it says, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So it's the knowledge that is to be increased, most specifically and primarily, is the revelation of Jesus Christ regarding things which must shortly come to